Shalom, shalom to the 144,000, the elect. Before I get started, let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to the apostle nails, great millstone. Peace and blessings to the brother that are preaching truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, have mercy upon you. Alright, y'all, once again, a little later in the morning, because earlier I did a video, a little about I think it was an hour and little over an hour, probably like an hour and 2 minutes. And the damn video got deleted. Hey man, let's Esau eat them doing them, man. So hey, had to get up and do what needs to be done. All right, so I'm going into the ceasefire in Gaza concerning ceasefire begins in Gaza. Local leader react with cautious optimism, right? Haven't y'all learned yet? Never make a deal with the devil. Trump and Israel leads over there on small hatters. They are one and the same people. How many times they have you know what? Let's see something else. Y'all bear with me. Let's see something right quick. Got to word it right. I'm on Google, y'all, but I'll bear with me. How many times have the Israelis went back on their lease fire agreement? Not lease, y'all. I said the wrong word, y'all. Ceasefire. Sorry, bear with me. How many ceasefire agreements was broken in the Middle East? How many ceasefire agreements? Y'all bear with me. Okay, who broke the ceasefire between Israel and Gaza? Now this was in March of 2025, right? Israel launched surprise airstrike on Gaza, breaking the ceasefire with Hamas. Benjamin, like the brother Malcolm would say, not a Jew. Says the office stated that the strikes were carried out in response to Hamas' refusal to release hostages. See, they've been playing on that hostages BS for quite a while. And rejection of proposal to extend ceasefire. So that's one. There were many now. Let me see. Did Hamas violate the ceasefire? Let me see. Let's click on that. Even a law initiated by Hamas was promptly violated by the terrorists themselves. Hamas, who also violated the July 15th. Another July 15th ceasefire initiated by Egypt and supported by most of. That was a lie too. I remember that. They were talking about the hostages again. Talking about this, talking about that. Initiated by Egypt and supported by most of the international community, including the Arab League. Israel accepted this ceasefire. Lie. Listen, man. Either way it go, you know, you Israelites shouldn't have you true Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives of the land, y'all shouldn't have a dog in this fight, no way. Because one thing, this is judgment. This is all this is. You know, just like Esau, Edom had not gotten their judgment. These for doing what they did to us over here in America. Those Arabs, haven't gotten their judgment either. Even though you got a scattered few Israelites here and there, amongst all the nations. But most of those people over there in that portion are what? Arabs. So you understand and keep it the Arabs. Who broke this? No. Did Hamas violate the ceasefire? Here go another one. Even a low. No, I wrote that. July, I read that. Did Iran and Israel break the ceasefire? Now y'all know what happened with that, right? What happened? Then Trump turned right around and bomb Iran. Hey, you know, them devils the same. one and the same. I mean, like y'all be doing this Republican and Democrat, right and left, just two wings, same bird. Both parties to what? To read it again. Both parties did Iran break the ceasefire. Both parties to the truce claimed that that ceasefire occurred on their own nation's terms. The ceasefire nearly collapsed immediately after it began. Israel accused Iran of having fired 3 missiles at Israel at the ceasefire. See, this is the type of game that these devil play, man. These are the type of games these devil play. See, the ceasefire was supposed to have started one at 7:06 a.m. and 2 more at 10:25 a.m. That's another one. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Who did Gaza originally belong to before Israel? No, I don't want that. Who negotiated the Israel Hezbollah ceasefire? All right, in November of 2024, U.S. envoy Amos Hochstein met with Lebanese and Israeli leaders to negotiate and ceasefire deal in Lebanon. He met with Lebanon Speaker of the Parliament, Labia Berri, who had Hezbollah support to negotiate. You remember when they had that ceasefire just recently with those leaders in that one location? And what did they do? They bombed that. So you can't trust this devil, man. Huh? Again, have y'all learned never to make a deal with the devil? Let's see, who violated the ceasefire? Man, it goes on and on and on. Man, they done violated so many ceasefire, it's ridiculous. So let's go to the video. Make sure the thing up. Yeah.
These images capture the beginning of the ceasefire deal in Gaza. Israeli troops are withdrawing from key parts of the Strip, and thousands of Gazans are making their way home. Advocates on both sides are watching the situation closely, many of them cautiously optimistic. After 2 years of war and loss, there may finally be hope. As of 5 a.m. Friday, a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is now in effect. Israeli troops are pulling out of key areas in Gaza. Thousands of Gazans are returning home.
Look at this shit here. What hope? Look at that place. That place is damn to the level. And then the building that is still standing is nothing. What hope? What are you all returning to? All they doing is getting y'all back out in the open so they can finish deleting you. These people are the devil, man. They don't have no. Let me see something. Let's real quick. Let me go to the. Let's see something. John says, how many ceasefire agreements have we seen over the past 2 years? Exactly. Huh? One side gets to, let me see, what Clem say, one side gets to go home. The other side has no home. This is a ceasefire, not peace in the Middle East. See what the reply says. But hopefully is the beginning. Man, you can't put your hope in the devil, man. You can never put the hope in Esau eating the devil, man. That's no hope. When you put your hope in the devil, you're going to find yourself. Anyway, let's read. Rain says, why doesn't every other news channel only have audio in the left ear? We're here before. Let's hope for the best. The place is completely destroyed. So where are you going home to? Just say that they will keep this ceasefire and let them go back to. Let me be quiet. Yet evil continues to live there. Go figure. You always gonna have these agents on this on the comment board too. with their lies and their confusion. You know, these people here, the so-called white man, he is definitely the what's that? He's definitely the wicked of the earth, man. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know, you can't beat these devils at you know, Esau Edom, he's the his gift is to be able to what, to deceive the people. You know, look what's going on over here in America. What's going on over here in America? They tell y'all the same shit every 4 years or every other year. Whenever they go in office or whatever. Every 4 years they tell y'all the same shit. Y'all fall for the same shit over and over and over and over and over. Over and over. Hoping one side is better than the other side. When again, they both the same damn bird with the same wings, man. Right and left. The wicked are, which is Psalm 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. This is who y'all are dealing with, huh? This is the wicked. Who's the wicked? What that is? 9 and 7. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to get a couple precepts in, cause y'all, you know, I think that 9 and 7 and 10. 9 is. I guess not. Let me see. I thought I had y'all. Y'all bear with me, y'all. That's 92. 9 and 7 and 10. Here we go. Ye that love the Lord Yahweh hate evil. He preserves the souls of his saints. Psalm 148 and 14. The saints, right? He delivered them out of the hands of the wicked. So the only way what you're seeing right now is judgment. And the only way we ourselves are gonna get out of the hands, out of the grip of the wicked, Yahweh shall have to come down here to say, well, nobody's gonna save us here on earth. No Martin Luther King, no all them different leaders that Esau Edom so that set up, huh? All that crap, all the history that you know concerning people, the women, Rosa Parks, all that crap is set up by Esau Edom, the devil, man. He's able to what? That's his gift. Be able to what? To deceive the people. And how many times did they have went for this ceasefire, huh? All they doing is getting them out in the open so they can finish deleting them. That's all they doing. Jeffrey Conyers, within 2 weeks it will what? Explode, because that other side loves fighting. And who they talking about? Them small hatters. You can't duck. Not even drink, y'all. Bear with me. You can't make a deal with the devil, y'all. The devil don't want peace. The devil want chaos. You know, these Edomites, they love blood. They love blood so much until they drink it. Yeah. That's part of their rituals. Deleting people, killing small infants. For what? For whatever for their, well, let me go. Let me read a little more. Jeffrey Cover says, what, within 2 weeks it will explode. Because that other side loves fighting. Patrick, well, even though Ishmael, which is some Arabs or whatever, right? He a wild man too, you know. In the scriptures speak about they're both being what? Wild men. Right? Ever since Bob Dylan and Obama got a Nobel Prize, I knew it was a joke. Hum Hum say anyone who actually think this peace deal would solve anything is a dumb ass Trump thinking he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. Man, I tell you. Hey, that just y'all going into what? um, to the lies, falling for the lies that Esau, Edom, the wicked, uh, push forth. What that is, Job. I think that Job. I want. What that Job? Yeah, y'all know a little precept, Job 13:4. Job 13:4. Let's see something. Job 13:4. But ye are what? Ye are forgers of lies, meaning deceivers. Ye are all physicians of no value. It goes into it with your doctors and all that, but that the only way you should be going to them people if you're laying wide open, you need some stitches or something. But other than that, you better try the best of your ability to eat. And but anyway, not to get into all that. I don't got time for nobody trying to tell me what the hell to do. Y'all gotta open your damn ears and listen. But everybody don't have the ability to listen and comprehend, especially you women. The worst person you can get information from, some type of guidance is from a woman. Most women, right? But as a man, you should be listening to a woman anyway, because they full of emotions and feelings. You're not gonna get the truth. You're not gonna get the truth out of them most of the time, especially 100% of the time when you're dealing with a relationship or whatever. Not to change the subject, but every subject is what there are, like Pastor always say, there are lessons within lessons. You can't leave y'all wicked behinds out. Even though the whole world is in the hands of the wicked, we all in the hands of the wicked. Some things that we can do, some things we cannot do, that we cannot control of not doing, because again, this devil has us in his grips, and we're not going anywhere. Just like these, they ain't going nowhere. They're gonna continue on doing what they're doing until the Heavenly Father, Yahweh shall bring that wood, bring that hammer down on their head. Let's read a couple more. That's all, a couple more anyway. A ceasefire, you mean Israel stopped bombing the daylights out of what? Out of what? An open air prison? Huh? It's exactly what it is. The next phase can come if Israel realize that what the Palestinians of Gaza, of the West Bank, deserve their own state. There it is. There is no phase. It's all the same phase. No state will take them. Thank you, President Trump. There go fool. Thank you, President Trump. Let's finish listening to this madness.
Thousands are returning home. Hamas has until 5 a.m. Monday to release 48 hostages, 20 of which still believed to be alive. I spoke with both Islamic and Jewish leaders to get their views on the fragile deal.
This should have happened a long time ago.
This is a historic moment.
Both Edward Ahmed Mitchell with the Council on American Islamic Relations and Michael Hoffman, CEO of the Jewish Federation.
Insiders, liars. This is what you all listen to. Insiders, liars. Just like when you listen to one of them damn athletes, or one of them damn actors, rappers. Y'all sickening with I had a damn vision about that little boy named that little cutthroat little boy, Boosie. Yeah, he got deleted. I don't know, y'all. Don't ask me why. How all of a sudden he just come up in a vision. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I seen.
Of Palm Beach County have their own concerns over the deal.
We're concerned about whether or not this ceasefire will hold, whether or not it will lead to a fully liberated Palestinian state at some time in the future. But for now, the key thing is the violence stop, the starvation of Gaza ends, captives go free, and we move in a just direction.
I think we're all hoping with the release of the hostages and the first phase of the deal being put into action is that I think all of us can start to move to the next phase of our lives. It's a time for us to rejoice.
You the devil. Ain't no truth in this man. Ain't no truth in this man at all, period. Lies, and more lies, and more lies. You got that. Yeah.
And just to express thanks and appreciation for all of those who worked so hard to secure their release.
In these times of conflict, I asked them, Where can we find common ground?
The common ground we should find is that every human being matters.
And I think the only aspiration we all have is that our brothers and sisters living in Israel, living surrounded by their neighbors in the Arab world, is that they can live in a place of peace.
I'm Michael Hoffman reporting.
Look at this place. Look at this shithole. That's what they doing right there. But hey, you Arabs, y'all listen, y'all judgment coming too. Y'all gonna get it too. You know y'all gonna be part of this ass whooping for Esau Edom. Y'all, all y'all gonna get y'all. All y'all going into captivity when, especially you Esau. For 1,000 years you going into captivity. You won't be able to tell no more of your lies. No more of your lies. Let's click over here to this right here, this ceasefire deal right here, and I'm gonna skim through this here. I'm not gonna go through. I'm just skimming. I'm gonna skim through because I want to get into my lesson so I can close this out. Y'all back with me. I know this commercial got to come up. All right, hold up.
This is one of my...
I'll be damned. They put another commercial on me.
Year war. A full ceasefire will go into effect within the next 24 hours. A minimum of 400 aid trucks a day will enter Gaza. On Friday, Israeli troops will begin a partial withdrawal, but they will remain in over 50% of the Strip. And Hamas is expected to release the remaining hostages by Monday. Israel will also free hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and detainees. But some of the most difficult issues, like who will rule Gaza after the war, are not yet resolved. In our first report tonight, here's our Foreign Affairs correspondent, Horace.
Let's hear that again, y'all. Let's hear that again. What they gonna do? Who they gonna release?
Well, President Trump says he's on the way to the Middle East, where crowds here are waiting for news that the Israeli government has ratified the deal.
He's on the way to the Middle East to plot. That's what he's doing. He ain't ever trying to save nobody.
Phase 1, in a process designed to bring an end to this devastating...
Designed to bring an end. You got to look at the devil talks with a forked tongue, you know. He gonna always, his way of communicating is always trying to find a way out of whatever his peace talk that he's trying. He always trying to what? Well, they ain't even trying these days. This shit's so lame these days, and hey, most of these people, you Americans, man, y'all the worst of the worst when it come to falling for this devil shit. But anyway, let's hear a little more. I want to make a point. We not bag it up with this these numbers and their terms.
2-year war. A full ceasefire will go into effect within the next 24 hours. A minimum of 400 aid trucks a day will enter Gaza. On Friday, Israeli troops will begin a partial withdrawal, but they will remain in over...
They still in there. A partial. Huh? Friday, the 10th October, Israeli troops begin partial withdrawal. Why you just can't just leave? Why partial if it's ceasefire? Because they putting y'all ass out in the open, then they gonna do what? They gonna go to bombing you again. These people trying to delete all y'all, man. Which I say, I don't have no dog in this fight here. Because all y'all deserve the judgment, man. The judgment that you all have did to the children of Israel. Y'all been some real demons. Look what they do to our women over there in when they go over there in their land. They treat them like animals, man. Poop on them, piss on them. They do all types of shit with them. Mess over, and then Eve just, she's disgusting. Eve, you're disgusting. To even think you can find some love over there in their land. Them people hate you, man. Them people hate us, man. Them people hate the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, man. They've always hated us, man. Why? Because the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi, had chose us unto himself, man. Deuteronomy, can't say it enough. Deuteronomy 7:6, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's why they hate you. And no one hates you more than Esau Edom, your twin brother, man. Esau Edom is your twin brother, man. That was in the womb. Huh? You've been fighting, Esau Edom been fighting with Jacob since the what? The womb. And it's not going to stop, man. That hatred is there and going to be there. This is just how he was created, to be what? The devil of the earth.
Over 50% of the Strip. And Hamas is expected to release the remaining hostages by Monday. Israel will also free hundreds of Palestinians.
Guess what? It's going to go something like this here. Hamas has agreed to free the hostages. Guess what? Hamas lied. Ain't no hostages. They only gave us 5 of them or whatever. It's going to go somewhere like that. Watch. Or they just going to say anything and just start bombing. The lies they tell.
Palestinian prisoners and detainees. But some of the most difficult issues, like who will rule Gaza after the war, are not yet resolved. In our first report tonight, here's our Foreign Affairs correspondent, Porrick O'Brien.
I thought it was their home. Who will rule Gaza at this time? I thought it was their home. Let them determine. Let them worry about who rule what, who gonna be the ruler, whatever. Come on, man. This shit is all set up and planned for what? For a purpose. To what? To continue deleting them people, man.
News came through late last night in Hostages Square, Tel Aviv. Agreement had been reached. The mother and sister of Matan Zangoker, a soon-to-be released hostage, summed it up. By this morning, thousands had gathered to celebrate the most important deal Donald Trump has ever broken.
Staged. Everything they do is staged. Staged for what? For a purpose.
It is a declaration of the end of a war. Not a temporary ceasefire, but not a peace plan either. On the streets, though, those distinctions didn't matter. And in Gaza, celebrations too. You could finally see the faces of the men who spent 2 years covered in dust, pulling bodies out of the rubble, and those faces were smiling. For a short window, two societies defined by division and death.
Allah Akbar ain't saving y'all, man. Allah Akbar is not the true name of the Heavenly Father, man. That's their God, man. And for y'all weird dummies that I seen just yesterday, a brother, they be laughing at y'all, man. Speaking to an actual Arab, and we was in a location where I was taking care of something, and they, they run up on them. They run up on the so-called black man. The Arab runs up on them and say, "Hey, brother, how you doing, brother?" And all that old fake hugging and stuff, and saying, "You fool, huh? You fool, y'all fool."
Death celebrating the same thing, the end of the nightmare. And here's how it came about yesterday. At the talks in Sharm el-Sheikh, Trump, through his envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner, had locked in the Israelis. The Qataris, Egyptians and Turks had nailed down Hamas. It was a master stroke that got it over the line.
Fighting crime is more than just getting the bad guys.
Not long before this, word sent to Washington, and the moment for history's storyboard, or at least its social media feed. A round table at the White House about strife and division at home.
The epidemic of left-wing violence and Antifa-inspired terror.
Interrupted by news of a ceasefire abroad. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, passes his boss a note. Pursed lips from the man about to clinch his greatest foreign policy deal. The whisper from Marco Rubio. Then this.
I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly, so I will take a couple of more questions.
The whisper picture, the note, the archives await. But this is 2025. This is Donald Trump diplomacy, so your socials need feeding. The note read, very close. We need you to approve a Truth Social post so you can announce deal for.
See, nothing happens by chance, y'all. Everything you see is staged. Everything. Nothing happens by chance. And whether it's of Esau Edom and he's doing it, or what, the Heavenly Father doing it with hurricanes and whatever. And Esau Edom create those too. Does not matter. Everything you see, everything is of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And you can't get out of it. There's no way out of what that Psalms 12:3, the Lord shall cut off what? All flattering lips and the tongue that speak of good proud things. Who has a more high opinion than oneself than DJ Trump? No one. So you can't get past this devil tricks, because he's the great deceiver at this present moment on earth that deceived the earth. Yeah? And he continues to deceive most of you all. There's no deceiving the hopeful elect, because the hopeful elect see right through this devil. Y'all gonna have put yourself and put your belief in him the same way, because once he pushed that MOTB, so y'all can buy and sell, you all gonna what? You gonna run down there? He gonna trick you. All you gotta do, put a little money on there. All you gotta do, put it on the computer, $1,000 a piece. Come get your C-hip. Y'all gonna run down there to your destruction.
First. Families of hostages visiting Washington heard it from the man himself.
You just take care of yourselves. The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
From there, the world got the message. We're heading into a weekend of ecstasy and of agony for families all across Israel. 48 hostages, 20 of them alive. And concurrently, Palestinian families also waiting for their loved ones to return. While in Gaza, many have no homes to go to at all, just picking up the pieces of their shattered life. In the center of the Strip today, people gathered waiting for the IDF withdrawal so that they could return home. Hours after the agreement was reached, an Israeli tank appears to fire close to the crowd.
Huh? Right after the ceasefire. What happened? Let's back this up a little bit. Right after they say the ceasefire.
In the center of the Strip today, people gathered waiting for the IDF withdrawal so that they could return home. Hours after the agreement was reached, an Israeli tank appears to fire close to the crowd. The violence not...
Boom, there it go right there. How you know it didn't get a few of them? How we know it didn't get a few of them? Listen, man, they just getting them out in the open, man. Them people been hiding there. Them people been hiding behind mountains, rocks, and trees, and whatever. Because you got a lot of rocks over there, y'all. They still got a few structures. They just bombing them, man. They want them out in the open, man, so they can do what? So they can finish deleting them. Let's read some of this right here. Some of the people. So let's say, I truly hope this is the beginning of the end. This conflict it's the beginning of the end of you all society. For all involved, the children have suffered enough. Man, they don't give a damn about no one. Just like over here, when they were bringing those little Southern Kingdom, the so-called black children out, and someone was when ICE was bringing them out, and the young lady stood there and said, "F him." They children, man, and they say F the children. Come on, man. Rest in peace to all the innocent life lost. That was okay. Rosie say, these children can finally live. It's not for what? The adults, because we've been dead a long time. That's heartbreaking. Y'all gonna learn, man. When you gonna learn, man? You can't trust. Never. When I say never make a deal with the devil. Elite says, Elite, name is Elite, huh? Elite but dumb. Huh. Elite but dumb says a very touching comment brought tears. Yeah, whatever. Sadly, it's just a gimmick. Everyone is falling for it. It's just a pause of what? Of the genocide. Next is war with Iran. Smart man here. Who this is here? TV Ted 616 says, sadly, it's just a gimmick and everyone is falling for it. As always, it's just a pause of the what? The genocide. Next is war with Iran. Drag U.S. into that. There it is. The least of the flock shall what? Shall draw them out. Let the weak say I'm strong. Then back, he say, then back to genocide. Mark my words. This is all for show. A game. Don't trust the media. And here goes a fool. Zero says, not a genocide. 60K isn't a genocide. God. Listen, man. You can best believe if they put a number, if the news station put a number and say 60K, you can best believe you can 100 times that or even 1,000 times that number. Them people didn't slaughter them people, man. But hey, it's all of them. Trump be blown in the city and the people not be afraid. Should there be evil in the city and the law have not done it? Everything you see is up your house. Look at them. They just laughing. They laughing emojis and everything, man. It's been a nightmare for the Palestinians. For what? The Israelis, it's been a game. That's what it is. This is all a game, y'all. They laughing. They laughing at they slaughtering children. They just laughing. A nightmare they made October the 7th. Okay, let's go back here. I want to pull up. I don't want this to go through all these lies that they're telling here, right? I know he's lying. That damn little small head on his head. Let's get to this part right here. This is what I want to hear right here.
On future hour.
Never. Bear with me, y'all. Little devil got to get his in.
Our own identity. That's the only solution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Donald Trump told his cabinet this afternoon that he thought there would be a lasting peace in the Middle East and declared nobody thought it was possible to get it done. He said he would be travelling to Egypt for an official signing and also to Israel this weekend, although details are still being worked out. Let's get the latest from our US editor, Anushka Astana. Anushka.
Yeah, that meeting has now finished. The White House is preparing to welcome the Finnish president. But, of course, the Middle East was a huge focus of that meeting. Donald Trump making clear that in travelling to the region, what he really wants to be there for is the release of those hostages, which he said...
He want to be there to laugh and giggle with Benjamin Netanyahu. That's what he want to do. Laugh and make they plans and what's... But they fell for it again. But we know we keep these fools here, food around here. Huh? Psalms 27:6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
Could run into Tuesday because of the difficult places that people were being held. We also heard from the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who talked about how we got here. He said it was the relationship Donald Trump had built with Arab countries, including that meeting at the UN General Assembly. Now, it is not unusual for cabinet members to lavish praise on Donald Trump in these meetings, but experts I speak to do agree with one thing that Marco Rubio said, which is that actually other recent US presidents would not have been able to achieve this, because when Donald Trump brought that deal back here to the White House and met Benjamin Netanyahu, he exerted pressure on...
Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were what? Was softer than oil, yet were they what? Drawn swords. This is what you're getting, man. And this is what these people are going to continue to do. Let's back it up, y'all. I'm not finna play anymore. I gotta get my lesson in. I got a few more. Let me read some precepts. This is it's not going to get any better, y'all. Not gonna get any better, y'all. I just want to get this image in right quick. All right, I just want to get this image. That's all I need. Of the terror, and y'all hollering about some they going back home. What they going back home to, y'all? How is they going back home? They going back to home to what? Look at these people, man. To this right here, they still levering these buildings. And you best believe there's somebody in these buildings thinking and trying to, in these wrecked buildings, bomb buildings, still trying to take shelter in these buildings. And Esau Edom is doing what? Doing what he do. Look at this here. You going back to what? These Israelis gonna be they levering this mess to nothing. Bulldoze, they got their bulldozer clearing the area that they already then bombed. You're not gonna get. I should just let the other messages play while I read my little precepts here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let me go back here right quick, y'all. I'm just leave it on mute, and I'm gonna just let it play. Okay, so let's go to well, let's read Psalms again, 55 and verse 21. They praise and trump with his smooth words. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were what? Was softer than what? Than oil. Yet were they drawn swords. Let's go to Habakkuk. Some say Habakkuk. Esau Edom 2 and Habakkuk 2 and verse 5. Yet also because he transgresseth by wine, policies, ideas, they got the whole world following behind their philosophies. You know, Esau Edom is again, he's the what? He's the great deceiver. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his what? His desire as hell. What's hell, y'all? The grave. Or death. This is what these people love blood. They love blood. They are nothing. They are a bunch of people. Listen, especially the upper echelon of these elite. You know, y'all think the level of y'all really can't see behind the closed doors of the evil that these people do, man. At home, who enlargeth what? A portion of that wickedness that our own people are part of. Keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be what? Satisfied. He can never be satisfied. You can't satisfy the soul. You can't satisfy the wicked. They're not going to make deals. No such thing as making deals with the wicked. They cannot be satisfied because they want it all. But gather unto himself all nations. What are they doing now? The new world order. They're establishing that thing at a worldly. Look at what's going on. The MOTB taking away the money. Y'all think about it to my some what they call it? Damn. Russia starting. I can't think about precepts. Anyway, but gather unto himself all nations, and heap it to come back to me, and heap it unto him all people. Right? Right quick, let's go to, because notice here, the heathens, they're fighting over what? Fighting over a land that doesn't belong to what? To neither one of them. what that is, Michael. That's what I want. Let's go to Michael. That's our land, y'all. We going back to it when Yahweh Shai returns. Yeah, you can believe that. 2 and 2. Micah 2 and 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence. Look at the violence. This violence is going to continue. It's going to continue to take what? Take place, because Esau is always this is his whole, since they've been ruling, they have been what? Bombing and taking resources, taking resources and deleting their leaders and putting their puppets up in there for what? So they can what? Script the country of all the wealth. This is what they do. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, all the family structures, man. Bomb them, knock them down. And then in the process, this is what they use. This is what they do. When they knock all the houses down, they bring in their what? Their banks. And then put their FRN. So once the FRN, which is their money, gets within the midst of the people, now they can do what? They can tax them. Because they're what? All it ain't nothing but debt instruments. Because you never have enough to buy a car. You never have enough to buy anything. You can buy food with money and whatever, buy candy and small things, but cars, houses, those are what? FRN, man, Federal Reserve notes. That's how they do it. Bomb them. In houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. They now already took our heritage. Well, claiming to be us. This is what Esau Edom. They want to be. Esau Edom have been everybody on the planet except for Esau. They have played the role of all people except for themselves. Why? Because that's the truth. That's who they really are. They're not gonna never give you the truth. The devil is not gonna never ever give you the truth, man. Let's go back to Habakkuk. Right? Where did I stop at? 5. Go to verse 6 of Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a proverb against him? Yeah, Obadiah 1 and 7. Soon the nations are going to what? Are going to gather together, including their allies, and Israel and America is going to get their what? Their just due. And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that what? That increaseth that which is not his. How long? How long, y'all? How long how about Hashem Yahweh Shai going to allow these devils to what? To make a mockery and cast their lies in the four corners of the earth. And to him that what? That leadeth himself with what? Ladeth himself, should I say. Ladeth himself with thick clay. Nothing but debt. Just like I was just saying concerning these debt instruments, when they go to other countries, they bomb them and bomb everything, then give them, say they give them money to what? Bomb them, tear everything down, put their banks up in there, put their FRNs up in there. Now they can do what? They can tax them. This is all what they be doing. This is it. Where do I want to go? Oh. Like I was saying earlier, they, as a whole, the heathens, they are both fighting over a land that don't belong to them. What I want? Ezekiel. That's what I want. Ezekiel 36. Ezekiel 36 and verse 5. Therefore thus saith the Lord God Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I not spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against Idumea, which have appointed my land into what? Their possession. The beginnings of them doing that was what the Balfour Declaration, which was in November. Forgets the date, but I know the year 1917. Right. This is what they've been. This is what they've been. They've been planning this. Listen, man, these devils be knowing stuff and be planning this stuff. Because when you see something that's out of pocket just come, and they just thinking, you all thinking that they just come up with this, and no, all this stuff is planned. Many decades. Well, 10 years, next 10 years we're gonna do this here, and the next 25 years we're gonna do this here. The devil's already done that. They already know what they're gonna do. But guess what? Like I just said, the land that they are fighting over, the land that they're fighting over belongs to what? The 12 tribes of the children of Israel, man. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, Naphtali. That's who that land truly belongs to. It don't belong to the devil, man. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all of Adumian. That's Esau, Edom, the wicked, especially the Amalek, which have appointed my land into their what? Their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds who what? To cast it out for a prey. They're going to laugh, scoff, mock. They're going to continue this path of wickedness until what? Yahweh shall come. It's not going to stop. Keep thinking that ceasefire going to come, right? Ain't no ceasefire coming. Not in the midst of what? Of Esau, Edom, in the process of what? Of the leading of people. They've been wanting to do this here for a long time. Just like they want to get over there and get Iran, but Iran got too much. Iran is a future prophecy of the Lord, putting in His will. Joel 3:1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather with all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, World War III. And will what? Will plead, judge. They're going to be judged. They're being judged at the present moment. Arabs over there, they're being judged. Palestinians, they're being judged. By who? The Lord. And will plead with them there for what? For my people. And for my heritage, Israel, whom they have what? Scattered among the nations and parted my land. Yeah, they parted the land. This belongs to us. This belongs to us. Arabs, this is mine. Ishmael. Talking about something that belongs to them. But hey, Esau, Edom, this is the wicked of the earth. The pale face over there in the what? In the Middle East, the Israelis saying this belongs to them. How it belongs to you? Petra belongs to you. Let's go to verse of Joel 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them. Talking about the Israelites. And will return your recompense upon your own head. That's your judgment. All of the evils, that's your future. While you trying to make a future, that's your future, which is judgment. Let's go to Jeremiah. What I want. I know what it is. Jeremiah 23. I think there's another one in Jeremiah 3. But Jeremiah 23 and verse 23 and 3. You read this whole thing, but let me start down here in verse 3. And I will gather the what? The remnant of my flock. What remnant? The remnant of what? Of his people. Because the Heavenly Father during this time don't want the entire house of Israel, which is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives of the land. You want to know why they don't want you? Because you are of no good at this present moment, because you're what? You're wicked. You're wicked. A lot of you all are what? Are hoping that this place come back alive. When I say come back alive, meaning you all start back your wickedness and being in your part and you being what? Being deceived by the devil and allowing him to what? To deceive you. And I will gather the remnant of my flock. And the first portion of that remnant is 144,000 of men. Then women or children of the what? Of the elect. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whether I have driven them. And I will bring them again to their folds. And they shall be fruitful and what? And increase. They will be fruitful and will increase. Hold up. Jeremiah 31:7. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, sing with what gladness for Jacob, and shout among my chief of the nations, publish. Ye, praise ye and say, O Lord Yahweh, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. Huh? That's all that's going to be saved in these times. Let's go up, drop down to verse 8 of Jeremiah 23:8. But the Lord Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of house of Israel out of the north country, which is America, and from all countries, whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in what? In their own land. So you devils are going to get that. Oh yeah, Jeremiah. That was 3:18. Jeremiah 3, and I'm gonna close this out. If that's what the Spirit allowed me to do, just thought of another precept. Jeremiah 3 and verse 18, and it goes into, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, the northern and southern tribe, which in that time would be what? One stick. In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north, which is America. Future prophecy, y'all. To the land that what? That I have given for what? An inheritance unto what? Unto your fathers. So on that note, say, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, B'Kwakwadosh, Shalom. Hey, y'all, when you going to learn, never make a deal with the devil. Shalom.